great. We played Lollapalooza, we had a blast. You know, there's no tension, it was like, let's have fun. And we went out and had a lot of fun.
But back in L.A., John Frusciante's life had taken a radical turn. After he left the band, a Dutch TV crew making a Chili Peppers documentary discovered John immersed in the dark and dangerous world of heroin. He said he had never so much as sampled the drug before leaving the band, but in a few short months, heroin had taken hold of his life.
Now, you just said you're using heroin. I mean, what does it mean to you?
It's just a way of making sure you stay in touch with beauty instead of letting the ugliness of the world corrupt your soul.
He was pretty out of his mind, as I have been many times in my own life, so, you know, very easy for me to know that place where you just don't relate to the rest of the world, and, you know, nothing really makes sense. I thought I had lost a friend forever, and I don't want him to die, you know, so I prayed for him. Please, you know, don't let John die.
With no hope of John Frusciante ever returning, Flea invited Jane's Addiction guitarist Dave Navarro to join the Chili Peppers in September '93.
I know I'm new, but you think you can get the door?
The new lineup headed into the studio, but by all accounts, recording was a shaky process. The band had trouble adjusting to Dave Navarro's musical style.
We just come from completely different musical backgrounds, completely different ideas about music. Dave's a great guy. You know, he's really smart. He makes a great rock star. He's a hell of a rock guitar player. But for some reason, we could just never really all four get on the same page.
It took the Chili Peppers over a year to complete One Hot Minute. But when it was finally released in August of '95, critics felt it lacked focus. And with Dave Navarro leaving the band soon afterwards, it seemed the Chili Peppers' red-hot ride might be over. Coming up, a miraculous second coming.
It was just like the wonders of God, you know, and it was just amazing. It's really amazing.
From day one, it's been an amazing, if not a peculiar chemistry that ignited the Red Hot Chili Peppers' passion. It appeared that nothing could extinguish the band's fire. But after John Frusciante's abrupt departure and rapid descent into heroin addiction, the Chili Peppers seemed to lose some spark.
When you have that experience, that ultimate intimacy experience, as we had with John, I think you always crave it. We didn't know what to do. It just didn't feel right. You know, there was something amiss.
What was missing was the magic the Chili Peppers shared, first with Hillel Slovak, and later with John Frusciante. But Hillel had lost his battle with heroin, and John wasn't even putting up a fight.
I stayed in touch with him through the whole time, and, you know, it was difficult to be around him in that time. I just thought he was going to die. I mean, I was sure that John was going to die.
I just deteriorated so much that I was ready to die. And all I can remember is I wanted a gun bad so I could shoot myself, you know? I'd really lost the will to live completely. My heart had broken completely.
In the fall of '97, friends finally persuaded John to enter rehab.
That period of my life had run its course, and I knew that, and it was time for a new chapter to begin.
For those who witnessed his decline, John's recovery was nothing short of miraculous. But it would be just the first in a series of astounding events.
I just went over to his house and asked him, you know, what would you think about being in a band again? And I just remember his face turned bright red, bright beet red, and he was like, oh, well, I think that'd be a good idea. You know?
In April 1998, after a 6-year absence, John Frusciante reunited with the rest of the Red Hots, and the band embarked on a new chapter.
Now he is like the most focused, dedicated, awesome, awe-inspiring artist that I know. I mean, it's like someone who I'm absolutely challenged to play with because he's so good, and he's so smart, and he's so on it, and it's just amazing. It's really amazing.
We're not taking it for granted and really, you know, realizing what we've got and how special it is.
It was really the best. It was like, you know, having someone die in your family and then come back to life.
And John wasn't the only one coming back to life. After years of chasing his own demons, Anthony says he too has dealt with his addictions.
I finally was able to get honest with myself and say, you know what, you're just a liar if you think you can go out and do that and not destroy your life and everything around you. Whereas before I kept thinking somehow I could get away with it, somehow I could manage it, somehow I could control it, which is basically lying to myself.
In the summer of '99, the rejuvenated Red Hots released their 7th album, Californication. The record was peppered with bittersweet songs inspired by the hard lessons the band had learned.
For us, it's really about always staying true to our hearts and always being open to grow, even though it's painful, because growth is always painful.
How long will I slide?
For the Peppers, pain paid off. Headlined by introspective songs like Scar Tissue and Other Side, Californication became the group's most popular album to date, selling a stunning 13 million copies worldwide.
With the release of Californication, the Red Hot Chili Peppers re-emerged as a vital act. Nobody would have expected it. At that time was the peak of this teen pop craze.
It was very surprising, actually, because we'd kind of not been around for a while.
The Peppers packed their bags for a triumphant world tour, then returned to LA to work on their follow-up album, By the Way. It is set for release in July of 2002.
We spent a lot of time in the rehearsal studio just going over every note and trying to find the most simple, beautiful way we could to express, you know, the most complex feelings.
The music we've done now has surpassed my expectations of what I ever would have thought we were capable of doing. We don't have any limitations on ourselves anymore.
To the Red Hot Chili Peppers, it is only the latest chapter in a long journey. One that began back in high school when 3 boys built a friendship with their insatiable enthusiasm for life and music.
I think that if Hillel could look down and see what we're doing today, I think he'd be incredibly proud and happy for us, because even though he never really got to experience this aspect of the dream, I think he'd be down for it.
We have all this time behind us to look at and to like see where we've made mistakes and what we've done to hurt ourselves or to hurt the band. And it's like now we can be together and like we know the bottom line is the love and respect for ourselves and for our music.
Lee and I were made to affect each other. We're almost too close and too much one and the same to even talk sometimes. You know, when Flea cries, I cry. And when Flea smiles, he makes me smile.
Flea,